with your ADD news in a moment. Then we're going to pick up the phone, call someone, and make their life instantly better by giving them the good news. They're moving from the standby boarding list to the actual boarding list. Go see Imagine Dragons in Canada. And then we start letting you win everything you want. Is it Vegas with us? Is it Weezer tonight? Is it a special performance from either Cannons or KG Elephant in the helpful Honda sound space here at KROQ? So many options coming up all morning long here. Chances for you to win all sorts of stuff from us. And Chelsea Handler joins us later this morning. But first,
grab your Adderall. It's time for some ADD news. I already forgot what we were talking about.
All right. I know a while back we had that big $30 million heist, which is still technically unsolved and considered to be one of the biggest heists in LA history.
Easter Sunday heist.
Yeah, Easter Sunday. But the woman that I'm about to tell you about stole way more than that. She stole $150 million and had only one accomplice. So I think in a lot of ways this is more impressive. And she was able to dupe the USPS for years by creating fake stamps and mailing out tens of millions of packages. And this woman lived in San Gabriel Valley. She has since fled to China, but I think she's been arrested. And what she would do is businesses, full-on businesses, most of which were operating in China, would reach out to her because she had this, quote, package mailing service, and they would send all their stuff through her. She would then be like, yeah, cool, I got you. Just pay me for the postage. And then she'd print out fake postage, put it on the packages, and she was able to, you know, get it through for long enough, and she would pocket all the money.
In the world of counterfeiting, she's kind of smart because I would...
What do you get, a Peanuts character, some flowers?
Yeah, a duck. A mallard.
Yeah, exactly. A dead president or two, and you're good.
You could use a sticker off a banana, put it on the corner of the envelope. Who's looking? I mean, come on, Allie. Really, who's studying that? No one's holding that up to the light.
Oh,
like
Chiquita, huh?
You know, when you go pay with $100 or $20 even at like a liquor store, they got a couple of... They'll hold it up to the light. They'll pull out that weird little invisible ink pen. They'll do a couple of things to make sure that's legitimate. No one's doing that with stamps.
Well, I guess I thought there was some kind of a system where it would be verified in the sorting facility, but I guess that would require money.
Why would they even care? I feel like, I mean, let's be honest. Who cares? I think
they would care. The mail's been around for a long time. Allie, they should have this figured out.
Anytime an envelope goes, sends anything in an envelope, they're just so appreciative that anyone's even using it. They're like, just put it through.
I get to put a letter in someone's mailbox?
Yeah, I mean, it's just insanity. But $150 million, that adds up. And so she made money. She figured out a good way to turn this pretty useless, counterfeit system into a good profit for her.
Yeah, I bet she tried like dollar bills and checks and wasn't successful. And then she was finally able to do stamps.
We could all do stamps. Remember that time I made Omar that fake ID?
That was horrible.
It didn't work.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because yes, in theory it didn't work because you went to a place.
In theory, not in theory. It didn't work. What are you talking about?
You went to you went to a place that had like a legitimate checking system, but had you gone?
That's what we wanted to test out if it would work at a legitimate place, not like a shady liquor store.
Okay, whatever. The point is this: I made the point I could make a fake ID for Omar.
It was a terrible ID.
It was. Yeah, well, can you make a fake stamp, please?
I'm going to tell you right now. I will make a fake stamp today. And I know it's probably, I shouldn't admit this on the radio.
And then you have to mail it.
And I'm going to mail it to you, Allie.
Okay.
And I promise you it gets there.
We're going to be pen pals.
But if they do decide to make an example out of me, I probably could go to prison for like 10 years.
No, because this woman did it for a really long time.
Yeah,
she really should have quit after a couple years.
It's still mail fraud. It's still mail fraud.
That's like a huge thing for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a huge thing.
I bet you'd get smacked up in prison so hard if you were like, I'm accused of mail fraud.
I'm telling you, when I used to do the afternoons here at KROQ, and after Bean had left, I thought it'd be a fun segment to just open Bean's mail that was coming here to the station, and I did it a few times. And some guy that worked at the Postal Service sent me a text message and goes, all kidding aside, dude, what you're doing...
You can't open somebody else's
it's
mail.
Very illegal, and they will prosecute. I'm like, are you serious?
They will prosecute?
That's what he said.
Like the USPS will? Or just the person?
Maybe it was
Let's turn in Klein.
No, don't turn me in.
Let's turn him in.
I don't want a problem with the
Let's call the
USPS.
I could probably find those tapes somewhere.
Yeah.
No, they don't exist
It'll only
anymore.
take us 7 hours to get through to a human.
All right, whatever.
But it'll be worth it. All right, the number one problem in a relationship, usually their top 5 are always the same. It's like money and cheating and stuff like that. But there's a new one that could mean relationship death, and it is parallel scrolling. Not phone snubbing. That's when one person is ignoring the other by just being on their phone when you're supposed to be hanging out together. This is when both people are ignoring each other.
This is every relationship on the planet.
You're right next to each other. You may be even laying in bed together where sex could potentially happen, but you're both just scrolling, and they say this decreases the chances of intimacy and affection, or it can just generally prevent you from engaging with your partner. But at the end of the night, a lot of people just want to decompress, and a lot of people use their phones to decompress.
And we're on totally different scrolls. That's the other thing. She's doing God knows what, and my scroll is all pizza and bikini models. Over there, she's looking up health conditions. Like, we couldn't be doing more different things. Our lives on both sides of the bed are so opposite. It's wild.
She's like, I'm hoping I get a health condition so I don't have to be with this person anymore.
What can I possibly catch? Put me out of my misery.
Get myself something.
All right, well, now we've got a good plan for the future.
Klein Alley Show.
KROQ.
KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
K-Rock. Klein Alley Show. Today's the day. Start giving away those Vegas trips. Congratulations. A kid who sucked at Little League is going to be the first person to join us as we head back to Sin City, return to the Palms, double down style. We'll have another trip coming up next hour. And we got a Weezer show happening tonight. Just came across these tickets this morning. We will get someone in at some point today. So lots of shows in your future, lots of trips in your future. And first, your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. I can already feel myself getting dumber.
All right, retail theft has been up for quite some time now, and various stores are getting creative as to how they're going to respond to it. Now, cops have already created a task force to try and crack down on this. They claim disrupted many retail theft crime rings. But there's a store called Kitson, I believe this is in Beverly Grove, and they're doing something very specific to keep the robbers away.
Kitson on Robertson with a big sale. Shame, 100% free.
Public shaming is kind of hilarious. I've never seen it to this scale before.
The Beverly Grove novelty shop attracting a lot of attention with its front of store Blame, Flame, and Shame campaign, posting the names and faces of people Kitson says stole from them.
Oh, I like that. Actually, there's a lot of liquor stores that will have pictures on the door.
Yeah, but these are like window displays. They're like
Full
in the
on.
windows so
You
that
steal-
people can watch. Yeah, as you're walking by, you can see it's like their shame wall. And listen to this.
But does public shaming actually work? Well, the folks in the store say at least one of the accused here brought the stolen goods back and apologized.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So public
Shame.
shaming seems to work if they have, a bunch of people that are up on their shame wall and one person's like, okay, I live in this neighborhood or people are going to see me. I'm just going to bring the stuff back and ask them to take it down.
The worst thing is that I look, like a lot of the footage they put up, especially when they get surveillance video that they turn into still shots, it's a little blurry and stuff. My face, even regular, looks kind of blurry to people. Mm-hmm. And there was a poster, a couple one in my old neighborhood. They put them all over because they were looking for these suspicious guys that had been like kind of casing the neighborhood. And one of them
was you?
Looked just like me. Looked just like me.
So you think just because you think you're a criminal doppelganger?
I just think I look like I have a shady face.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm always. I don't know why, but I'm shifty. I'm shady. I'm not.
For some reason, we both look like people who would commit crimes.
Well, you look like the people that always get pulled over for doing meth. You look like all the meth.
Pregnant
women.
and on meth.
The passenger seat.
Yeah, like Allie. Yeah, Allie definitely looks like all of those. I mean, there's no shortage of mugshots where you are. People send them to us every week.
Yeah, it's like
is
known
this Allie?
crack addict assaults husband with avocados.
Right, it's always you.
But Klein, it should be no surprise. I mean, you are shady. That's in your nature. Didn't you just almost kill a guy for your friend? Or what was that
that's
deal?
right.
We never found
Did
out
you ever
what
kill
that
someone
was.
for your friend?
I didn't almost kill a guy for my friend. It was I was off. I'm not gonna. I'll get into it next week. But the guy basically wanted me to partake in an illegal thing, not immoral, but illegal.
I don't know why you won't just tell us what it is.
Because I may still. I'm contemplating still doing it.
Well, get off your ass and do it then.
I'll know
Seriously.
by Wednesday.
I mean, I'm sure this guy has moved on to other more reliable and decisive friends.
Talked about it this weekend.
I don't know. Give me a month. Let me mull it over.
No, talk about it this weekend.
All right, USC has reopened today, even though things on campus have not gotten any better. In fact, they got a lot worse over the weekend. The students protesting are now even more furious since the school started calling cops over to make arrests on them. And then the students also boycotting the graduation live stream that's supposed to happen instead of the in-person graduation. And now They're asking the university to at least set some time aside so that all of them can just talk. Let's get in a room. Let's figure out how we can move forward because things really can't keep going how they're going. And it's crazy because LA keeps kind of trying to clear these homeless encampments, but all these students are building new encampments.
It's really incredible how quickly people can put up encampments.
It seems easy.
Yeah. I'm blown away with that sort of, if you put in all that effort into a variety of other things, start a business.
Yeah,
or
you're
shop.
going to a university and paying for student housing, and then you're creating an encampment and sleeping on the street for something
it's
that
just
you're
crazy.
passionate
What was
about.
going on? UCLA, USC.
There were physical altercations taking place at
All
UCLA,
over the
so
place.
it's all been pretty bad.
By the way, a lot of people pointing on the text line. People that have broken noses usually look shady because there's a reason why someone broke their nose. Klein looks like he has a broken nose, which is why he looks shady.
Oh, interesting.
Thank you.
I couldn't tell if it was your murderous eyes/eyebrows or if it was
All right, let's keep these.
your toothless smile.
Everyone can save these thoughts to themselves. Okay,
All right.
Yeah, the guy who called you an Arab goat effer was right.
he was wrong on a number of levels there, but that was one of the
Literally
many.
He was right on one of them.
everything wrong in this sentence.
One of the many insults I received.
Here's what's going wrong this week with airplanes. I feel like at this point there's a story every day about a defective plane, and this one involved a Delta flight where the emergency slide fell off the plane midair. This plane left JFK and was headed right here to LAX, and after takeoff, the pilots heard what they claimed was a non-routine sound, which was so funny.
They're
Such
the
a,
best.
quote, non-threatening,
The airlines
but
are the
scary.
best at that flowery language. I mean, it's,
Yeah, I heard a scary noise and the thing fell off. But translation is, we heard a non-routine sound.
yeah. Well, I remember one time when they couldn't find the plane that we were supposed to fly in, they said something along the lines of, the plane's whereabouts are yet to be determined. And I'm like, well, what the hell does that all mean?
So it's
Don't
a
you have
missing
trackers
plane?
on these things?
Yeah, like you don't
Yeah,
know the
put
plane.
an air
Is that what
tag
they
on
said
this
with the
thing.
Malaysia flight?
The pilot is preoccupied one time when it's like the way they speak. It's just
Yeah, what's
crazy.
a crash? A non-routine landing?
Non-routine landing.
Klein.
Alley.
Show. KROQ.
Klein Alley Show. KROQ.
If you are recently single, going through a breakup as we speak, there's no better way to recover or rebound than a trip to Vegas. We have that for you coming up again next hour.
Okay, I'll take the double.
Klein Alley Show, double down to the Palms in Vegas. We will get you in. So if you are about to break up or coming off a breakup, be ready to call us and win that. If you cannot wait until next weekend to go to Vegas and you want to win something, we got Weezer tickets for you tonight. This is exciting because we just found this pair floating around here, and we're giving them to you. Tonight, Weezer at the Constellation Room. We got a pair for you. The second ADD News is done, we get you into that show. 800-520-1067. Your news now, your Weezer tickets next, and then more tickets coming up just after 9 o'clock.
Grab your Adderall. No, seriously, grab it. The shortage is real. It's time for ADD News. By the way, if you need any, I know a guy.
I really wish I was smart enough for this side hustle that I'm about to tell you about because it's genius. There's a sophomore at an Ivy League university who was looking for a way to make a little side money, and he ended up making a killing selling restaurant reservations. So somebody like Vanessa calls and says, "Hey, table for one."
Yep.
And then this guy says that'll be $200.
There's
and
plenty of tables for one available.
So he will scoop up reservations at these super high-end restaurants like Carbone, and then he'll send them to people people will buy it that have they want to go there that night, but they don't have a reservation
I know
because
a
you
guy
need
that
them
did
like
this.
months in advance. And
Valentine's Day, I knew a guy that did it specifically, and that was his big plan. He would go load up on all the hot spots tables for 2 Valentine's Day, all the prime
which
times.
is kind of messed up that you take them all.
Yeah, messed up, but also for someone to say to you, if you forgot about it, then $20 gets you a reservation at a good table, you're like, all right, I guess it
Yeah.
sucks, but better than the alternative.
Well, there's an app called Appointment Trader where it'll allow people to buy and sell different restaurant reservations, but he was able to create some kind of a bot system that was able to grab all the really good ones. And he said the most expensive sale that he made was for a place called Omakase in Boston, and he sold the reservation for $1,300. And now he's made over $100,000 doing this.
It's not illegal, right? It's just...
No. I mean, he's talking about how he's doing
The
it.
issue is a lot of places do now require you to put a credit card down, right? And if you don't show up for the reservation, they bang you out for some sort of like
I
a
think at most
$50
of these places
a lot of
that
them.
would
No,
be
so
the
he's-
case. So
good for
he's
this
just,
guy.
I'm sure some of them he does have to eat some of the money.
Yeah,
If
but
he
I guess
can't
if he's
sell it.
selling the high-end ones, I mean, there was those guys that were buying up all those golf. Remember that was happening in
Yeah.
L.A. All those golf tee times you couldn't get because people
Free
were
the
buying them
tee.
all up. Free the tee, baby.
They did do something to combat that. I think they're doing some kind of a reservation system where you have to prove there's something that they're trying to get around it where you have to prove that it's you before you make the reservation. All right, there's a city in the U.S. making a huge comeback, and travel experts are saying that it has the potential to be the next Paris or Rome. On the list of must-see destinations for 2024,
Bakersfield,
a
come
travel
on.
magazine, they listed some of the ones you'd expect, like Fiji, and then they listed Detroit. That's right.
They're trying so hard.
Detroit is making
Everyone's
a
trying.
comeback.
Jack White is trying. Everyone is trying to make Detroit great, and they can't.
Listen, I know a lot of companies have filed for bankruptcy. The whole city of Detroit had to file for bankruptcy.
That's right.
Over 10 years ago because they were like $18 billion in debt, and the crime there was so bad that
I
people
know.
were afraid to even visit the city.
I
Now
know,
they're
but
saying
also-
the crime is way, way, way down. And if you go, they're like, you get the museums, you get this really beautiful architecture, casinos, parks, and then you get the beautiful Detroit River. They said some people come here and they think it's the Caribbean.
No one does. no one has ever said that.
Am I in the Caribbean?
Yeah, Blind Charlie, maybe.
No, you're in Detroit.
yeah.
Can you smell the feces?
Yeah, listen. I get it. They're tired of being a punching bag, and they have been for a while. The football team had a decent season. All of a sudden, everyone got all excited about Detroit. They got Eminem. They got some things in there, but they're not going to reinvent
They have the
themselves.
Lions and Eminem.
They
It's not
got
enough
that.
to make them Paris or Rome.
Not yet.
And then finally, an update in the world of condoms. I guess condoms are getting smarter, and there's a company called Camira.
Oh, this is the one you can wear all day?
Well, you can wear it up to 2 hours before you think you're about to have sex, but it's the
What?
unique smart
dude,
condom.
it is
And
awesome.
Basically, you can roll it on yourself preemptively so
Yep.
that you don't have to put one on right before the act. You would be able to put it on up to 2 hours beforehand, and it's a lot skinnier than the traditional latex. So
Perfect.
they said it feels more like a second skin than a contraceptive,
Yeah.
and it doesn't
And-
make you feel weird that you're just sitting there flaccid
and
with
by
a
the way,
condom on
no
at dinner.
woman. I speak for women when I say, and I've got daughters and sisters, so it's basically like I've been raised around women. No woman would find it weird at all that a guy had a condom on prematurely.
She opens the pants and then it's just there with a condom.
Zero.
What are you
More
doing?
people would be turned on by that than would think that Detroit was the Caribbean. I'll put it that way.
Or 2 hours goes by and you don't have sex, then you have to peel it off
That's
and
the
throw it in the garbage.
That's the
It'd
saddest
just
part of
be
the whole
sad.
thing. Hey, thanks for checking out some of our radio show on KROQ. Just between you and me, we're about to fire Allie, so hopefully you didn't get used to her too much. But thanks for checking it out, and we appreciate you checking out the live radio show. And
Hey, what are you guys doing?
nothing.
But you're filming something. Aren't they supposed to be involved in this?
We're not filming anything.
There's a camera right there.
Just part of the. Bye.